Attention SSI recipients. If you did not file a tax return last year and have children under 17, you must act now to get the $500 economic impact payment per child. If you do not act by May 5th, you must wait until next year to get those payments. Go to irs.gov and enter your information in the non-filer tool by May 5th. That's irs.gov. This message produced by Social Security at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Good morning, America. This is the Cats Roundtable. John Catsimatidis here. Sunday morning. Let's move on to Asia. What's going on? Nobody seems to know what's going on in Taiwan, China. Well, we have one of the world's experts with us, Dr. William Parker III, President and CEO of the East-West Institute, and spent a long time in the Navy, so he knows the properties. Good morning. How are you, Dr. Parker?
I'm doing great, sir, and it's great to be back on your show. It's always an honor.
Thank you for coming on. China. It seems like our country and the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, are having a little bit of a differences. Where do you see that going?
I think we're having a lot of differences right now. I think one of the big issues is, the world is looking very hard right now at whether or not there was information held back that allowed this COVID-19 virus to spread around the globe. And there are a lot of folks that think that if China did know about it and kept it to themselves until after it spread around the world, that they need to be held accountable for that. So I think that is one of the major issues there. Of course, while that's happening, there are tensions in the South China Sea. The USS Barry just did a freedom of navigation run through the Taiwan Strait. And there were stronger words used this time than normally do for a FON op or a freedom of navigation operation. So I think that you're starting to see not hostilities, but tensions rise in that region significantly. Conversely, I think that you're seeing the relationship between the U.S. and Russians improve slowly, but I think you're starting to see more conversation. And in fact, East-West Institute is working very hard on those issues right now as well.
Is there any opposition to the CCP in China, or are they emperors for life?
Well, there's a lot of opposition. There's a lot of protests going on. As a matter of fact, now that the coronavirus seems to have stepped down and people are allowed back in the streets again, you're seeing a lot more protests going on in Hong Kong in particular. And in fact, there were mass arrests that have happened in the last few days. In Hong Kong, you're starting to see more protests bubbling up and becoming public around China as well. So I do think that there is still a great deal of pressure on Xi Jinping and his regime on how they dealt with this issue. And remember, their economy took a pretty big hit on this. And the death rate, I think, is we're going to find out historically, is much higher than originally reported, both there and around the globe. So I do think they're under a great deal of pressure right now.
Dr. William Parker, President and CEO of East-West, thank you so much for coming on this Sunday morning and briefing the American people on the situation in Asia. And let's catch up again real soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much, and thanks for all you do to keep us all informed.
Thank you. This is the Cats Roundtable. We'll be right back.